Hi, Hiba, and welcome to the Keyani Podcast. I'm so excited to have you because I really would love to hear more about what you do. And I would really like our audience to actually know more about Ibn Arabi and the human design. So please introduce yourself and let us know what your journey is and how you got here.
Thank you for having me, Aliya. So I come from a Sufi lineage, the direct descendant of Muhyiddin ibn Arabi. Muhyiddin ibn Arabi is a very important Sufi grandmaster from Andalusia who fled to Syria, and then the lineage came directly in Damascus. And this connects to my mother's side, specifically to my grandmother, who was actually my teacher since a very young age, to teach me the method of Ibn Arabi. As I grew older, I was also interested in the realm of visual art. So I also do art photography, and I write and direct dystopian science fiction films.
Fantastic.
In my course of work, I always study the human condition, and sometimes I make fun of it because I believe that making fun of your pain makes it heal faster. But if you are rigid and serious about it, this is where all the complexity and feeling blocked comes from.
True. Yeah.
As for Ibn Arabi specifically, I practice 3 modalities. The very important one is human design, and this is not to be mistaken with the New Age human design. Although the reading is similar, but the module inside is completely different. And I also do hands-on healing with Quran, which I call Sufi hands-on healing. And the third one, which I really, really love, is dhikr, specifically the Allahu dhikr, or the remembrance.
Yeah.
I hold circles which can operate and expand the heart field.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, let's get back to human design.
Yeah.
I know that human design is there's a lot of information out there about human design, but there are different types of human design. And can you expand a little bit more about, what are the different types and what are they for? Because, the most important thing is that we can identify something, but we want to know what it's for. Why are we being identified at that kind of human design? So can you just, maybe explain a little bit more?
Certainly. So human design, Ibn Arabi's human design, specifically tackles a roadmap for you to understand how the self or the nafs works and how to operate from the heart field, which is the direct connection to the Creator, or Allah. And since we are alive, then there is this human experience that gives us this form, or what seems like a battle day to day between the nafs and the heart. So it offers a roadmap that makes you understand in totality, using a language of what's going on in your life.
Yes.
And this roadmap also follows the quantum mechanics of the element that is yours and strictly yours. This is what I love about it, is that although we are 8 billion humans on the planet, no one person looks like the other.
Yeah.
So the
personal DNA, almost like a personal DNA.
It's like a print.
Yeah.
It's so unique and special to you. And in that blueprint, he tackles 2 very important things. The universal elements, which we all know are the air, water, earth, and fire. And the alchemy of those elements together, which means 2 humans together or a collective together. And also the genetic mapping, which connects us to our ancestral DNA, their memories, what happened in their lives, their skills, their activations are all in our bodies, which gives you actually a sense of responsibility to actually heal them as well, and not just yourself. And also what I love about Ibn Arabi's human design is that it tackles the unity of being. The unity of being shows us that there's no hierarchy in the design. There are roles, just like being in a movie. This is why I like to combine both worlds together.
But how do we know about roles? What is, I mean, how does one know that, this is my role?
Yes.
The
chart gives you a very detailed information about your pace, your characteristics, where the nafs actually is. What does it desire? Where does it operate from?
And what is the nafs? If you can explain to the audience what nafs is.
Yes, the nafs is actually physically found here, and it is the guardian of the heart. So if the nafs is tired, the heart is lost.
Yes.
And if the nafs is intact and it knows what it's doing, then the heart is operating from a place of alignment, let's say. But specifically through human design, to understand the role is to understand the mechanics of this vehicle. The vehicle that is the human body. How does it operate? How does it think? Where is the authority? How does it ask of you day to day what to do and how to respect and listen to it? Because most humans actually are working in jobs that they don't care for. They're with partners that they don't love. And they're in a collective or a community that does not look like them. But somehow they feel that they are forced to be in that just for the fear of not fitting in a certain group. But if every single human understood their human design, we would have such different vibrational field and harmony to exist in society. And that is actually the point of human design from Ibn Arabi's point of view, is to bring everyone to the heart. Why? So the nafs is the embodiment of the 99 names of Allah. And in those 99 names, you have the whole spectrum of the human experience.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, and it goes from Rahman, Rahim, Jabbar, all of them. So that embodiment determines how the human drives and steers their life. But in the heart, which is a ruh, so now we have nafs and ruh. Nafs is spirit, ruh is soul or source. The heart is the direct connection to Allah or source or creation. Because of its aspects, that it has this high vibrational field that encompasses and incubates the human body. It is bigger than us. So to tap into the heart field means to tap into the undefined names. Because Allah is undefined, but on earth, He is defined with the 99 names. So what does that tell us? The nafs is the human experience. The heart is the universal or God experience. Ibn Arabi tries to take you from here to here, not saying that the nafs is bad, to accept the nafs as is, to take you to
embrace it,
the undefined. Because if we can bring all humanity to undefined a place, all the division would collapse. What divides humans? The definitions. Religion, faith, nationality, gender, you name it. So to bring people to the heart means I'm bringing them all to the unity of feeling, not the unity of
which we need.
Definitions.
We need it right now. And so, for example, if I came to you and I wanted to do this, how do you practice this? I mean, if you had a client who was curious about this, what is your process of what you do? And like in a short way, if you can kind of explain how you would, consult with them.
First of all, I always cancel the terms mental illness, mental disorder from the equation. The first thing to do in human design is to understand and tell the client that there is nothing to hate or resist about the experience. There's no such thing as obstacle, block, or problems. Those are definitions which can transmute into keys. Because where you are in reference now is only the placement that can offer change to who you really want to be, which is a lighter aspect. In human design, we use the space-time, which is the Zamakan theory of Ibn Arabi, which is where you were born, what time you were born. The time determines the element that was governed in that time, and everything goes into cycles. So we have the same information going into cycles. And the land offers us the genetic map. The genetic of the ancestors, where they went, what did they do, what happened, and what memory.
But what if somebody was born, somebody is of, let's say, Arab descent, but was born in the U.S. So what does that? How do you relate that to your reading, for example?
So, for example, the United States of America is the sacral center in the body. Because human design offers you not just your genetic map, but also Ibn Arabi, because all of his work is about the unity of being. What is the unity of being? Is that everything that is created is connected.
Yeah.
So our body is the exact replica of planet Earth.
Okay.
We're earthlings, so we look exactly like the planet we live on.
Yeah.
We drink its water, we breathe its air, we eat its plants. So all of this DNA interaction day to day proves that this creation is one.
Yeah.
In different designs of plants, animals, and humans. But what makes it in fragmentation unique is only the genetic code. But what unites it is the alchemy of those elements together. So for example, if someone is born in the United States, they would have more sacral authority in human design than other beings. Sacral means survival. Emotional means creation. Every single center in the human body is found also on the planet. And it determines what characteristics are unique to you and how this characteristic can actually converse with other fields on the planet.
Yeah, very nice. I mean, it's really interesting to know about oneself and how we function and how we also try to overcome a lot of the past things that have probably happened through ancestors and through the current period of time. And I think another part is that how we make all these practices relevant to now. Because these are all old practices, and as practices move on, theories come in, new things come in, but there's some practices that remain pure, as this one does. And do you find that it is extremely relevant to now? Or do you find that you've had to tweak it a little bit and change it a little bit in order to deal with what is happening in the present time?
Okay, so I'm a huge fan of ancient knowledge. And I think it's way more relevant than the current knowledge that is present in our days. Because a lot has been hidden from humans. That's why they seem less knowledgeable. But if they had actually the keys to ancient knowledge, you would find complete different race. So ancient knowledge, ancient tech even, and everything that has to do with the ancient civilization, we're way more advanced than now.
So it's valid now.
It is, for me, I believe that it is, especially that I'm actually keen on learning other modalities. And from my life experience, because I tap into learning so much and also conversing with other practitioners with other modalities, there's always this sense of comparison, but not in a negative way. Let's find out a way to bring it back to the surface rather than hide it and keep humans at a certain vibration. Because that's the point in the system, to keep everyone at the same vibration. Human design explains that we are at different vibrations. When we say that someone is not on the same vibration as me, therefore I will stop talking to them. This whole sentence does not make sense. No one is on the same vibration as the other. Because of that difference of spectrum is what makes us al-insan al-kamil, or the perfect man. The perfect man means I have all vibrations in all humanity, and their communion is what makes it perfect, not the individual experience. But going back to why this ancient knowledge works, well, first it worked for me. It made me dissolve fear in a way that no other knowledge taught me. Second of all, treating love as the grand scheme of all laws, above logic, above interpretation, that teaches you to trust the human experience rather than fear it and deal with it as an obstacle or a limited space, is actually also another evidence how the ancient ones were all about expansion and not limitation. So
very important.
Yes. And this very knowledge, human design, made me also find peace in others. Because we were, specifically in this region, we raised that whatever is different than you is wrong. So we need to bring everyone to act the same, be the same, feel the same, pray the same, everything the same. And that gives you this sense of contradiction that you're unable to connect to anything, not even yourself. So it dropped the judgment that in difference we unite. And it also gives you space to understand that this unique character of yours can be fearless in its distinction rather than feeling alienated because it's different.
And harmonizing with everything else around you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, harmony is very crucial, right? Yeah, it's key. So that's why the vibrations, if this harmonize, it kind of works beautifully, you know, and that is something that, you know, the human design really works upon and picks specifically. I mean, this is really quite fascinating, and I'm, you know, I've done a session with you, so, and I truly enjoyed it as well. And as well, I was on the healing side of things, and it was really beautiful. It was emotional. It was beautiful, and I would really recommend people to like come and, you know, try this method out. Is there anything else, you know, as we're closing up? Is there anything that you would like to give a message out, or say anything about the human design that you find that fuels you or you're most passionate about, you know, please do.
Well, I'd like to say that it is I'd like to say that human design is not an easy knowledge. I consider it as a therapy tool, not just a simple reading of a chart that can tell you certain characteristics about you. It's a process. Therefore, it holds a lot of truth. Those who are ready to receive truth about themselves, they learn how to dissolve the fear and find their way to trust. But specifically in human design, because it is complex and because it tackles universal sciences and because it tackles all the ancient genetic memory of the planet, one has to be very ready to receive such information, but also along the way, the transformation that happens is insanely worthwhile. I have seen people literally transforming from fearful beings to now they're like masters and leaders and amazing actors and artists in the world. So the point is to find the peace in the heart. Being in the unknown holds no fear, and human design teaches you the path to the unknown, which is the heart.
Thank you so much for this insightful information. It was truly fascinating, and I hope that more people are able to come and experience this. If anybody wants to reach out to you, could you please let us know how they can reach out to you? Certainly.
People can find me through Keyani, and my Instagram handle is @Hiba Judeh, HIBA JUDEH. Happy to serve.
Thanks so much, Hiba.
Thank you, Aliya.